Hi and welcome to this video. Today I'm going to be doing a second video of book quizzes. I did the first one I think half a year ago, so I felt like it was time for a new one. I have found this quiz called The Ultimate Book Trivia Quiz by Penguin. Okay, I'm gonna pull a Benedict Cumberbatch here. Penguin Publishing House. I saw this quiz on their website and I thought this was going to be the perfect quiz for a sequel to my book quiz video. I'll link the first one in the description here, wherever it's going to be, so you can watch that if you haven't yet. But let's get started with this quiz. So this quiz was published in 2024, so I'm expecting some recent books, but maybe also some classics in there. The Ultimate Book Trivia Quiz. Measure your knowledge of classic novels and modern literature with our brain-teasing book trivia quiz. Can you score a perfect 24? So I'm guessing there's going to be 24 questions. For this Ultimate Book Trivia Quiz, we reached back beyond 2024, into the past decade, and even into the past century or two to come up with questions to test your novel knowledge. So I'm guessing it's going to be from 2024 and earlier. Let's just start with the first question. Okay, the first one says, which literary heroine famously said she would buy the flowers herself? It's Mrs. Dalloway, isn't it? I mean, isn't the first line of Mrs. Dalloway, Clarissa Dalloway said she would buy the flowers herself? I think it was. I don't have the book here, but I think it was. So I'm gonna type in Clarissa Dalloway. Choose. Okay, this is not a good start. I'm wrong, but what is the answer? Okay, show correct answer. Okay, so I said Clarissa Dalloway and that was not correct. Are you kidding me? Okay, I'm just gonna say I was correct. This sounds like such an excuse, but I mean, come on, Mrs. Dalloway is Clarissa Dalloway, so I'm just gonna go to the next one. Okay, question 2. Wooster and Jeeves, a scatterbrained gentleman and his wise, resourceful valet, are the famous literary creation of P.J. Wodehouse. But what is Wooster's first name? Okay, this all seems gibberish to me. I've never heard of any of these names. Let's just say John. Why not? It's wrong. Okay, great. What is the answer? Bertie. Okay, I would have never in a million years guessed that. So for now, I got one correct and one wrong. Let's go to question 3. Which Pulitzer Prize winning author of Olive Kitteridge released her novel Tell Me Everything in 2024? Ooh, I feel like these questions are either you know it or you don't. I think Elizabeth Strout. I think so. Okay, yes, great. Oh, it just moves on to the next question. Okay, question 4. From which novel is this famous quote pulled? The only people for me are the mad ones. The ones who are mad to live, mad to talk, mad to be saved, desirous of everything at the same time. Wow, that's a good quote. Franny and Zoe by J.D. Salinger, which I haven't yet read. Catch-22 by Joseph Heller. To the Lighthouse by Virginia Woolf. Or On the Road by Jack Kerouac. I've read a bit of Virginia Woolf's writing and it doesn't sound like her. So I don't think it's Virginia Woolf. J.D. Salinger was such a long time ago that I read. I can't remember if their writing is like that. So I think it sounds like Jack Kerouac. It sounds like On the Road to me. A little bit long, a little bit philosophical, a little bit mad. That sounds like On the Road to me. So, ooh, it's correct. This is going way better than the first questions. I haven't yet read On the Road, so I couldn't have read that quote. But it's some kind of deducing as to... I mean, it was just guessing, I guess. It was just guessing, but it was a good guess, so it worked out. What is the title of Sally Rooney's 2024 novel, which shares its name with the term for a musical composition which fits between other musical or dramatic entities, such as acts of a play? Sally Rooney. In last year. Oh, Intermezzo. She wrote Intermezzo, of course. That came out last year, right? And does that fit? A musical composition which fits between other musical or dramatic entities. Oh, Intermezzo, yes. I think this is correct. Is that already a year ago? I feel like Intermezzo just came out. Okay, it's true. That's already a year ago. That's so crazy to think about. Okay, I feel like we're doing quite well. I think we're about 1/4 in, and I think I've got one question wrong. Well, and the first one, but I don't count that as wrong. So let's go to question 6 and see if we can keep this up. What 1963 novel which tells the story of Esther Greenwood. Esther Greenwood. Isn't that the protagonist of The Bell Jar? Her name was Esther, right? Esther. Anyway, let's just continue with the question. What 1963 novel, which tells the story of Esther Greenwood's descent into mental illness, that sounds like The Bell Jar, was first published under the pseudonym Victoria Lucas instead of the author's real name? Give the novel title only. Well, I don't know anything about the last part, but I believe Esther Greenwood descent into mental illness is from The Bell Jar. So give the novel title. Okay, The Bell Jar. Let's see. That is correct. Okay, great. I didn't think I would remember the protagonist or antagonist. It sounds like I'm boasting about myself, but I'm just a little bit happy. This could have gone way worse. Question 7. What is the first name of Jay Gatsby's love interest in The Great Gatsby? Well, of course, that is Daisy. Yes, that's Daisy. Okay, that was an easy one. But again, it's like, you know it or you don't. Either you've seen the movie, read the book, or you didn't and you don't know the answer. So I guess it's a trivia quiz. So it is about knowledge. Okay, question 8. How many books are currently in Richard Osman's beloved Thursday Murder Club series? Okay, I've never read this series, but my best friend has. Last time we met up, she talked to me about this series. I believe she said there were 4 books. 4 or 3, either 4 or 3. And there was this new series that she wanted to read. Was it called We Solve Murders? I think that was it. But I'm not sure if that's part of the original series or not. I think it was 4. So I'm gonna guess. Okay, the options are 3, 4, 5, and 2. So that's not helping me much. But I think 4. Yes, I'm gonna go with 4. Yes! Okay, thank you so much, Lena. Without you, I could not have answered this question correctly, so shout out to you. Question 9. What was the name of Samantha Harvey's Booker Prize winning novel this year? Okay, so in 2024, I guess, because that is when this quiz was made. It was Orbital. It was not orchestral or ornamental or ordinance. It was Orbital. Yes, okay, that's an easy one. Great. I feel like we're on a roll here. Question 10. Who is the BookTok famous American author of Beach Read, You and Me on Vacation, You and Me on Vacation, Book Lovers, Happy Place, and Funny Story? I think all of these are the same except for You and Me on Vacation. That might be a UK-US difference. It's Emily Henry, of course. I've only read People We Meet on Vacation or You and Me on Vacation. Emily Henry, yes, it's correct. Okay, great. I really like this mix of newer questions and older questions. You can test your knowledge on newer books, but also on classics. I think this is a good quiz so far. Bleached Lions. What am I reading? Okay, Bleached Lions is an anagram. Okay. I was kind of caught off guard there. Is an anagram of the name of this graphic novelist who authored the memoirs Fun Home, Are You My Mother? Hint, the famous test for how thoroughly humanized female characters are in films and TV is also named after her. Okay, so I know that is the Bechdel test, but I don't know who this graphic novelist is. Okay, but Bleached Lions is an anagram. So if you take Bechdel from that, Bechdel, you will have lions and an A left. So what first name can I make with those letters? A line. The S is hard to place. Oh, well, maybe it's Allison. Allison is a first name. Snail. I don't think Snail is a first name. I think the only thing I can come up with is Allison. So I'm gonna guess Allison and then Bechdel. That's my answer. It's actually correct. Thank you so much for the hints, because without the hints, I could have never gotten that. Oh, I'm so happy. That was so good. Okay, this quiz is very fun so far. It makes me feel very smart. Maybe this is boosting my ego too much. Maybe I need to tone down before I get the next questions all wrong. Question 12. How much time goes in the blank to complete the title of Gabriel Garcia Marquez's masterpiece of magical realism, 100 Years of Solitude? Well, that's easy, I think. 1,000 days, 100 days, 1,000 years, or 100 years? Of course, it's 100 Years of Solitude. Yes. Question 13. We're over halfway done. Who said, "You think your pain and your heartbreak are unprecedented in the history of the world, but then you read"? I have heard that quote before. Who said that? What are the options? Okay, first, James Baldwin. Oh, that could be it. Toni Morrison, Maggie O'Farrell, or Kazuo Ishiguro. Oh, I think it was Baldwin. I think it was on Instagram that I read that. I think it was Baldwin. I think that's a good choice, so I'm gonna pick James Baldwin. He has said some amazing quotes, so I wouldn't be surprised if this were his words. It is. Wow, that is such an amazing quote. I love Baldwin as a writer. He's so good at putting feelings into words, and I only have read Giovanni's Room, but I can't wait to read more of his work, because if that's what you can expect, then I just want to read all of it. Question 14. The author of 1Q84 and Norwegian Wood released his novel The City and Its Uncertain Walls in 2024. What is his surname? The author is, of course, Haruki Murakami. I have multiple of his books here. I have read Norwegian Wood, not 1Q84. That one is a mammoth, but I can't wait to get to it at some point in my life. English is not my first language. Surname means last name, right? I think so. So that's Murakami. I think if I put Haruki Murakami, it's wrong again. But this time they actually ask for his surname. So I feel like Clarissa Dalloway should have been correct. Okay, Murakami is the answer. Yes, it is. Who is the youngest of the March sisters in Little Women? So you have Jo, who is the writer. Beth, who is the one who dies. Okay, spoiler, but you've had a long time to read that book, so if that's still a spoiler to you, then I'm really sorry. Beth is the one who dies. Amy is the one who marries Laurie, and Meg is the one who marries John. I felt like Amy was the youngest. She was definitely in the movie, the most recent one, I think 2019, she was definitely the youngest. I'm doubting myself. I know the answer, but okay, this is what happens with me and tests. I know the answer and then I start doubting myself. So I'm just gonna go with Amy. Okay, I just need to trust my gut and not doubt myself so much. Question 16. In Charlie Mackesie's I'm really sorry. The Boy, the Mole, the Fox, and the Horse. Which animal has a fondness for cake? The boy. Okay, the boy is such a great answer. I don't think he's considered an animal. I just read that book last year. I think it was the mole. I think the mole liked cake. Yes, okay, great. I don't know what else to say about this one. Great book. You should definitely read it. It's so cute and meaningful, and it just leaves you with such a warm feeling, so I definitely recommend it. True or false? Toni Morrison's novel Beloved won the Pulitzer Prize. Sure. I feel like it deserves it. I feel like this is such a question, like it's either true and it's just true, or it's false and it's like, oh, she won this other award, but not the Pulitzer one. I'm not all updated on these prizes. I feel like it's true though. I feel like they wouldn't put such a question if it wasn't true. So I'm just gonna go with true. It is true. Okay. I've heard amazing things about that book, so I feel like it's deserved, but I've yet to read it. I really want to read it. Especially if it won the Pulitzer Prize, I should really get to reading that one. Question 18. Which Wind in the Willows? Oh, I'm currently reading The Wind in the Willows. Okay, that's such a coincidence. Which Wind in the Willows character famously developed an unhealthy obsession with motoring? Okay, so it's either the mole, the rat, Mr. Toad, or Mr. Badger. Well, if it's an unhealthy obsession, then it's Mr. Toad for sure. Like, it cannot be any other one. If it's an unhealthy obsession, that sounds like Mr. Toad to me. So, yes, Mr. Toad. I'm currently reading The Wind in the Willows, and it's so cute. It brings me back to my childhood of just reading about these animals that are doing all these crazy things, and everything is just cozy. There's not a problem in the world. The biggest problem is like, what am I going to do today and who am I gonna meet today? And it's all just so fun and happy, and yeah, it's making me really happy reading that book. So I would definitely recommend it. I haven't finished it yet, so I'm not sure what my star rating is gonna be, but yeah, I love that book. It's so cute. yeah, it's so fun that there was a question of that book that I'm currently reading in this quiz. Okay, question 19. Winner of the Kirkus Prize in America, shortlisted for multiple prizes and adapted to the stage multiple times, Hanya Yanagihara's second novel has become a modern classic. What is it called? I feel like this author has written multiple books that are considered modern classics. First one that came to mind is To Paradise. Is that by this author? Isn't A Little Life by this author? Winner of the Kirkus Prize, shortlisted for multiple prizes, adapted to the stage multiple times. I feel like the most popular book would be A Little Life. I think that would be my best bet. But I haven't heard, I don't know if A Little Life has been adapted. I haven't heard of that. I'm just gonna try. It is A Little Life. Okay. Wow, that one has been adapted to the stage and won multiple prizes. That is so cool. I've only heard awful things for that book. Not awful in the sense that it's bad, but that it's so sad. So I'm not sure when I'm in the right headspace to read that book. But I have also heard that it's so good, so that I definitely should give it a try. I don't know, if you've read it, please let me know in the comments what you thought of it. But I haven't yet read, and I'm kind of scared to do so because it sounds so depressing, and I'm really not prepared for that. Question 20. What is the first name of Madame Bovary? I have that book right here. Of course, I'm not going to look at the name, but I haven't yet read it. I do have it on my shelves. I really want to read it. I'm not thinking of the author's name, which is Gustave Flaubert, I think. But that's, of course, not what they're asking. The first name of Madame Bovary. I have read the back, and I have read the first pages. So I should know it. I just haven't read the complete book. The first name that's coming to mind is Emma. Was it Emma or Jane? Emma Bovary? I feel like it was Emma Bovary. Jane Bovary? No. Emma could also be coming to mind because I just read Emma by Jane Austen. That's also probably why Jane came to mind, because that's also a character from Emma. But I'm not sure if it's Emma. I feel like it's Emma Bovary, so I don't know what else I could guess. I think it was Emma. It is! Okay, that's such a relief. I'm surprised that I got that one because I haven't read the book, but as I said, it's right here on my shelf. I'm very excited to get to it. Of course, now my camera was full, so I just changed my SD card and hopefully we can finish this quiz. Where were we? Okay, yeah, question 21. Yeah, I don't know the answer. I'm not gonna pretend that I do, so I'm just gonna type white, which was what I guessed in the first place, but it's not an animal, so I know it's not correct. Yes, it's wrong. It's wolf. Oh, I actually was close. The same first letter. I've never heard of wolf howl. At least nothing comes to mind right now. Question 22. Hating pratfalls. What? Hating pratfalls is an anagram of the title by this masterful 1958 novel by Chinua Achebe, a milestone for Anglophone African literature. Okay, there are no bells ringing at this moment. I feel like I would know this though. So, hating pratfalls is an anagram. Okay, we're gonna reason our way through this. You and I, we're gonna get to the answer. Maybe you already know the answer and you're screaming at your screen right now, but for those who don't know it yet, we're gonna figure it out. It might be two words because these letters are also separated into two, but maybe not. See I and G together, and I think it would be reasonable to assume that it's gonna be a word with ing maybe at the end. Things is possible. Oh, I see it. Okay. Okay, the letters are not that far off. So you have fall, things. I think it's things fall apart. I think that's by this author. And those letters are all correct. So things fall apart. I think that's the answer. Let me check. Things fall apart. Yeah, it's possible. So yes, it's correct. Okay, great. Maybe you got that as well. Maybe you got it way before me. Maybe you're screaming at your screen, I know the answer. With some logical reasoning, I got there in the end. It took me a little bit. Which of these novels is not by Dostoevsky? Anna Karenina, the first one, it's not by Dostoevsky. But the other options are Crime and Punishment, The Idiot, and The Brothers Karamazov. So Anna Karenina is of course by Tolstoy, so it's not Dostoevsky. Yes. Okay, now for the last question, or I think the last question, 24. From which novel comes this quotation? Ignoring isn't the same as ignorance. You have to work at it. Let's look at the options. Slaughterhouse-Five, Frankenstein, To Kill a Mockingbird, or The Handmaid's Tale. To Kill a Mockingbird, I've read that one, but it's been so long. I think maybe 10 years, maybe a little less than 10 years. So even though I've read that book, I feel like I would not recognize every quote from it. And in To Kill a Mockingbird, there's of course this racial issue going on. So I feel like ignorance would be a big theme in that book. So this could be a quote from that book. But it also feels like something from The Handmaid's Tale, because there's also this societal issue going on where people choose to ignore the problem. I feel like it sounds like something from The Handmaid's Tale. I know what the story is about and it feels like something from that book. Also, I feel like the other books are a little bit older than The Handmaid's Tale. I might be mistaken, but this sentence sounds quite new. I don't know. I'm just guessing here. My guess is gonna be The Handmaid's Tale. It's actually correct. Okay, my score. You're a keen reader. Wow, thank you. 21 out of 24, and I will count the first one as correct. So 22 out of 24. You love to read, but it's not like an obsession. I mean, excuse me? Apparently my channel is so wrongly named because books apparently are not my obsession. I should just call it With Coffees. Nothing with coffees. Yes, my channel from now on is going to be With Coffees. So you're definitely interested in digging into the extracurriculars around the books you love. Dates, characters, quotations, and more. Reading is a lifestyle and you're living it well. You're definitely making me sound like a nerd. But I guess 22 out of 24 is pretty nerdy. Okay, you're a keen reader. Well, thank you so much, Penguin. I love this quiz. I had such a good time. I feel like these quizzes are a little bit better than the other sites that we tested last video. But if you have any quizzes that you would like to see me do, or you have any sites that you would like to see me give a try, then please let me know in the comments. Also, if you played along, please let me know how you did in the comments, what score you got, what questions you got wrong or right. I would love to hear. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in my next video. Take care.